Today, let's dive into a really powerful idea, one that's all about owning your vision for your own life. It's summed up perfectly in this one amazing phrase. So, this idea, it comes from a personal story by a writer named Salima, and it all starts with this one single, incredibly frustrating conversation. But trust me, it goes so much deeper. It uncovers a whole lifetime of feeling misunderstood and reveals what can happen when our deepest dreams get questioned by the people around us. All right, so picture this. It all starts during a totally normal lunch break. Salima and a colleague are just chatting, doing something we've all done, sharing their big dreams for the future. It seems like a nice, friendly conversation, but it's about to take a really sharp and really unexpected turn. So, Salima's colleague, he goes first, and he just paints this incredibly vivid picture of his dream house. He's talking about the size, the layout. I mean, he has thought of every little detail. And while he's sharing all this, Salima just listens, patiently. She gives him the space to dream without saying a word. But then it was Salima's turn, and the whole dynamic just flipped. That respect, that attention she just gave him, nope, not coming back her way. The second she starts describing her dream home, the interruptions begin. And this was the first jab. Right out of the gate, he's questioning the scale of her dream. And worse, he layers on this assumption that she's going to be living there all by herself. There's no curiosity, it's just criticism. And the judgment just kept on coming. Salima mentioned she'd want separate guest houses, and her reason was simple. She loves her quiet, peaceful mornings. But he just couldn't get it. Instead of even trying to understand where she was coming from, he just kind of pushed his own idea of what's normal. Okay, and then the conversation takes this really dark turn. It goes from just questioning her dream to this grim, totally unasked for prediction. He doesn't just disagree with her, he tells her it's basically a death sentence. I mean, what an incredibly bizarre and harsh thing to say to someone. So after being pushed and questioned and judged, Salima finally hits her breaking point. She just fires back with this incredibly sharp, defiant comeback that just shuts the conversation down. Cold. It was a very clear signal that a line had been crossed. So you might be wondering, why did this get under her skin so much? It was way more than just a rude colleague. That moment was a trigger. It connected this immediate frustration to a much, much deeper pattern of feeling misunderstood that started a long, long time ago. You see, this feeling of having to constantly defend her own nature, well, it wasn't new. Her colleague's words were really just the latest echo of a feeling that had been following her around since she was a kid. Growing up, Salima was just wired differently than the rest of her family. They were total social butterflies. They thrived at a full house, always entertaining people. But her, she was someone who really cherished her solitude, her quiet time to just recharge. And this difference was a constant source of friction. Her mother just couldn't wrap her head around her daughter's need for personal space, and it led to endless arguments. I mean, feeling like an outsider in your own family, that's a heavy thing to carry. And those arguments always left her feeling totally drained, suffocated, and just deeply misunderstood. So now, all these years later, that conversation with her colleague brought all of those old feelings rushing right back to the surface. It was a painful reminder of a lifelong struggle against people trying to tell her who she ought to be. And this is where we zoom out from Salima's personal story to the universal truth that it shows us. Because this isn't really about a dream home, is it? It's about the fundamental right that we all have to our own aspirations without needing anyone else's permission slip. Salima's experience actually gives us a name for this kind of thing: dream dictators. You know who I'm talking about. These are the people, could be colleagues, friends, sometimes even family, who try to put their own limits and their own logic onto your vision for your life. And this right here is the heart of it all. Your dreams are yours and yours alone. They don't have to be practical or logical to anybody else. They are a reflection of your desires, and no one has the right to shrink them down to fit their own worldview. Honestly, a lot of the time, your big dream just shines a light on their own fears. And this isn't just about some big, far-off dream for the future either. It goes right down to your core identity, your personality, your quiet nature, your unique wants. These things are not up for debate. They're not for someone else to judge. So Salima's story isn't just a warning. It's really a powerful, liberating call to action for every single one of us. It all kind of boils down to three really profound reminders. First,
Dream boldly. Don't ever let the fear of what other people think shrink your vision. Second, live authentically. Be true to yourself, especially if it makes you different. And finally, own your vision. Defend your right to want what you want, and don't you ever apologize for it.
And we come back to this central metaphor of the sky, which is just perfect. It's vast, it's limitless, and it belongs entirely to you. You get to decide if your sky is going to be pink or orange, or maybe a color no one has ever even seen before. So this leaves us with one final thought to reflect on. I want you to take a moment and really ask yourself, what dreams are you protecting? What visions are uniquely yours? And most importantly, what color is your sky?